right, we want to introduce you to a segment called Night Court. I think it'll be a regular part of the show. We'll see. Brand new segment of topics that we present to you, the jury. We don't comment. They're just for your consideration. First up, a Virginia church is going to remove a plaque honoring America's first president, George Washington. The church says the plaque, which is on a pew where Washington once sat with his family, is not acceptable to all worshipers because George Washington was a slave owner. Charlie Hurd, opinion editor and a columnist for the Washington Times and a Fox News contributor, joins us now. Let's start with the case at the church. What do you know?
Well, after 250 years, nearly 250 years after George Washington helped found Christ Church in Alexandria, the congregation has decided, or the vestry has decided, I imagine that there's going to be a lot of discontent with some of the parishioners, they've decided to take the markers down. I don't know if they just discovered he was a slaveholder, or because of the news that's been in the media lately, it's sort of brought the attention to a higher level. But whatever the case is, they've made the decision to take the markers down.
Well, here months ago, President Trump predicted this. You got to give him credit for this. He said, a couple of his tweets, he said, "Sad to see the history and culture of our great country being ripped apart with the removal of our beautiful statues and monuments. You can't change history, but you can learn from it. Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, who's next? Washington, Jefferson. So foolish."
Indeed.
A little bit of a crystal ball over there.
It is incredible. And, you can sort of quibble with Donald Trump sometimes with his tweets, whether or not he needs to wade into certain things, whether it's the NFL or in this case this. But he's almost always exactly right, whatever it is that he does wind up saying. And it is true. You can't change history. We've had a tough history. But that's not to say, have you seen Hamilton on Broadway?
I cannot afford it. It is thousands of dollars. I'm not money bags like Charlie Hurd.
I couldn't afford it either, but I sold 2 of my children to take my daughter to see it.
Well, one of the kids got to go there.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and it's a magnificent play, and what I love about it is that it takes into consideration the fact that there's a lot of ugliness in our past. But that doesn't obliterate all the good stuff. Mm-hmm. And they celebrate Thomas Jefferson. It celebrates Alexander. Obviously, Hamilton is the star. But it's the way history is supposed to be understood. And when you have these situations like Christ Church, they want to obliterate history. It's like it's too painful that they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to deal with it. I just think that it's very damaging to the country.
Well, it's something that's taken front and center in the Virginia governor's race where there's about to be an election. Something else the president tweeted on. Ed Gillespie, that's the GOP candidate, obviously, will turn the really bad Virginia economy numbers around and fast. Strong on crime. He might even save our great statues/heritage. Here are both candidates running in Virginia. Their take on this.
We don't have to glorify the objects of the statues. We can educate about them. We have to learn from history, and that is a difference.
If these statues give individuals, white supremacists like that, an excuse to do what they did, then we need to have a discussion about the statues.
Is this going to be a big deal?
I think it's going to be a bigger deal than people realize, and it's not white supremacists. It's because people like the history, they like the heritage, they like the statues, and I think that is why a big reason why we've seen Ed Gillespie close in the polls in the last couple of weeks.
Just a few days away.
Yeah.
We'll track it. All right, Charlie Hurd, good to see you.
Thank you.
Come back.